Welcome.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Can you say hi? Come on. Want to show them the house?
You know what I love? A Hollywood legal mess so chaotic, you need a flowchart and a bottle of aspirin to keep up. That's exactly what's happening right now with Blake Lively, her husband Ryan Reynolds, and their ongoing battle against Justin Baldoni. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are in a legal tangle with Justin Baldoni, and things are getting tense. Their attorneys are fighting to keep their private text messages from falling into Baldoni's hands. Not just any texts, but messages with other A-list celebrities. The fear is Baldoni might leak them to the public. On March 6th, lawyers for Lively, Reynolds, and Baldoni dialed into a hearing with Judge Louis J. Lyman. Lively's attorney, Meryl Conant-Gavrnsky, pushed hard for Baldoni himself to be kept away from the couple's private communications. She argued that if irrelevant celebrity conversations ended up in the wrong hands, the damage would be irreversible. Page 6 reported her saying this could bring significant harm. The tension goes back to January when Baldoni's complaint against Lively, Reynolds, their publicist Leslie Sloan, and Vision PR mentioned none other than Taylor Swift. That name drop alone sent the internet into a frenzy. If Swift's texts are anywhere in that legal mess, fans will never let it slide.
The conclusion here, I have said this since before, long before this ever broke out between her and Justin Baldoni, that we have to compartmentalize. Blake Lively is not a good person. So no matter what happens in this lawsuit, no matter who wins in the end, do not let it distract you from the fact that she has proven herself not to be a kind.
Baldoni's lawyer countered, saying if Lively and Reynolds wanted to restrict certain messages, they needed to request it case by case. Meanwhile, Lively's team stood firm, insisting that only industry-relevant messages should be accessed. Nothing more, nothing less. They called this a standard legal provision, not a special favor. This isn't the first time the judge has had to set boundaries. Back in February, Judge Lyman ruled against Lively's request to dig through Baldoni's phone records. He found it overly intrusive. Basically, Lively's team wanted to filter out relevant numbers, but the judge saw no practical way to do it without exposing personal details. Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Friedman, was quick to respond, saying the judge's decision stopped Lively's egregious attempt to invade their client's privacy. Lively's camp fired back, claiming Baldoni's team rushed to court to hide who he had been calling during what they called a retaliatory campaign. The back and forth isn't slowing down. If anyone thought this drama would wrap up quickly, think again.
We do have It Starts With Us, so I'm hoping to see you back in the double duty role.
I think there are better people for that one.
Justin.
I think Blake Lively's ready to direct. That's what I think.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Justin said he doesn't know if he'd be game to direct the next one, but perhaps Blake would. Is that something that you would entertain?
Oh, absolutely. I think that whoever decides to take charge of the next one would do it justice. But, you know, it's a lot of people to get the same schedules together again, so we'll see.
Oh, absolutely. She's so capable of that. She is a powerhouse. She could do literally anything.
Both sides refused mediation, calling it inappropriate and premature. That means Lively v. Wayfarer Studios et al. Is officially headed for trial in March 2026. Yes, 2 more years of legal battles, and who knows what else will come out before then. And trust me, this is not your usual celebrity spat over who got the last invite to Taylor Swift's birthday party. This is full-blown legal warfare with texts, secrets, and some seriously messy accusations flying everywhere. If you're wondering why they're so paranoid, well, these aren't just any texts. These are messages between Hollywood's favorite power couple and their famous friends, people like Taylor Swift, Hugh Jackman, and Gigi Hadid. One leak and boom, headlines for days. Blake's lawyer, Gavrnsky, even pointed out that both sides could be tempted to leak juicy bits because, let's face it, in Hollywood, bad press is still press and worth a fortune. But Justin Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Friedman, wasn't having it. He called the whole request unnecessary and even got offended that anyone would think his team would leak anything, which, if we're being honest, is exactly what someone would say if they were planning to leak something. Just saying. Now, all of this texting drama is just one messy layer of the larger disaster cake that is Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni. It all started back in December 2024, when Blake dropped a sexual harassment lawsuit against her It Ends With Us co-star. That alone was enough to break the internet for a day or two. But then, as if scripted by a reality TV producer, a 2020 racial discrimination lawsuit against Baldoni's company, Wayfarer Studios, made an unexpected comeback. Suddenly, this wasn't just a Hollywood fight, it was a racial controversy too.
That like Justin Baldoni was too nice to work with, like he was too good to work with. That's what's very bizarro to me, is like this is the worst that we can dig up.
The 2020 case involved a Black executive named Shane Norman, who claimed he got fired for raising concerns about racial inequality. The guy even said someone at Wayfarer told him they needed somebody who looks like you. If true, that's bad, but Wayfarer denied it all, and to make things even messier, a judge had already tossed out some of Norman's claims back in 2021. So why is this popping back up now? Your guess is as good as mine. The interesting part is how fans are reacting. You'd think Blake would have the sympathy vote here, a beloved actress taking on her co-star and exposing industry dirt. But nope. Most fans aren't buying what she's selling. A lot of them see Baldoni as this annoyingly wholesome, overly spiritual guy who's more likely to meditate his way out of conflict than harass anyone. The racial angle? That's getting even less traction. Some fans are flat out calling it a distraction, designed to cloud the real issue, and trust me, the internet has opinions, loud ones. One fan basically said it's impossible to believe Baldoni is both spiritual guru and secret racist. Another suggested that Shane Norman's whole lawsuit smells like someone trying to cash out after getting fired for regular reasons. The general vibe online? People think Blake and Ryan are trying too hard to paint Baldoni as the villain, and it's backfiring hard. One tweet even pointed out that Baldoni's best friend and top guy at Wayfarer is Black, which makes the racism accusation a tough sell. And another fan went full savage, saying Blake's turning into a bigger joke than Meghan Markle. Ouch. But let's circle back to the real popcorn moment here, the private texts. Why do Blake and Ryan want those messages hidden so badly? I mean, if they're just talking about dinner plans with Hugh Jackman, what's the big deal? That's where the real tea is hiding, and you don't need to be Sherlock Holmes to figure out that something juicy is sitting in those chat logs. Maybe it's gossip about the lawsuit itself. Maybe there are spicy comments about Justin Baldoni, or even some side-eye at the other celebrities involved. Or maybe, just maybe, there's something completely unrelated but embarrassing enough that Blake and Ryan would rather set their phones on fire than let the public see it.
First would go to lesser sanctions, maybe monetary sanctions, or a gag order or an enhanced gag order. Threat of contempt, I've seen that before, where a court will hold a contempt finding, hold it in abeyance, which is a pretty big sword.
Whatever it is, the fact that they're fighting this hard to protect their group chat says everything. Hollywood friendships might look shiny on Instagram, but behind the scenes, it's all alliances, betrayals, and people who smile for photos while secretly hoping you trip on the red carpet. For now, Judge Lyman hasn't ruled on whether the texts get Fort Knox-level protection or if they're fair game, but until that decision comes down, both sides are treating this case like a game of legal chess. And Blake and Ryan? They're trying to guard their queen, or in this case, their private messages at all costs. The real twist? Even if they win this texting battle, they're still stuck in the middle of a lawsuit sandwich. Between the sexual harassment claims, the revived racial discrimination case, and the public slowly turning against them, Team Lively Reynolds might need more than a good lawyer. They might need a miracle. Last year, this thing was just a regular book-to-film adaptation hitting theaters. Now, it's like someone accidentally turned the behind-the-scenes footage into a courtroom reality show, starring Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni, and a pile of lawyers who probably haven't slept in months. The only people more stressed than Blake right now are her PR team, and possibly Ryan Reynolds, who's probably texting Deadpool jokes to cope. According to the New York Post, Blake and Ryan are begging the court to slap a special layer of protection over these texts. They're not just asking for privacy, they want a legal force field, the kind of protection usually reserved for state secrets and the recipe for Coca-Cola. The argument? These messages have nothing to do with the case and everything to do with being extremely valuable gossip. But let's be real, this isn't just a fight over privacy. This is about power, status, and how much protection celebrities should get just because they're famous. Blake's side is saying, these texts are gold and we can't risk them leaking. Baldoni's team is basically replying, if regular people can't hide their texts in court, why should Hollywood? Personally, I can't decide if this is the most ridiculous or the most relatable part of the whole case. On one hand, nobody wants their group chat exposed to the world. On the other hand, most of us aren't casually texting Wolverine and the world's biggest pop star about workplace drama. In the end, this is just one more chapter in the It Ends With Us legal saga, a story that now involves lawsuits, celebrity secrets, and a courtroom showdown over who gets to keep their texts off the internet. No matter who wins, I have a feeling we'll all get a front row seat to the drama, and if those texts do leak, well, let's just say the real show might be better than the movie. So will the court actually give them that VIP treatment? Or will Baldoni get the receipts and hit forward to TMZ? If you want every spicy update as this legal circus rolls on, make sure you hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Trust me, this drama isn't slowing down anytime soon, and you won't want to miss what leaks next. Drop a comment too. Whose side are you on? Team Lively Reynolds or Team Baldoni? Let's hear it.